WIKB, Iron River, Iron Mountain, Watersmeet. Now, here's Dr. Larry.
Did you know? Let's go.
You've waited all week.
Every week, we continue to learn how to achieve a better back and ultimately better health.
Live in the WIKB studios, this is Dr. Larry.
Well, thank you for the flex capacity read. Hello again, everybody. Okay, let's get it started. Well, as you know, every show builds on the next. Every week, we continue to learn how to achieve a better back and ultimately better health. Now, in case any of you missed it, last week we talked about Mounjaro. It was an important week to be tuned in because we learned and defined about Mounjaro's sudden toxic body meltdown because, let's face it, it might make you want to frown. So here it is again. Mounjaro. What are the benefits of taking it? What else is it good for? Will Mounjaro give you energy? Does Mounjaro increase your metabolism? What are the cons of taking Mounjaro? Does it affect your mood? Does it reduce inflammation? Does it help with sleep? Let's roll back the clock again on this ever-present but historical reality of weight loss medications. Way back in the 1800s, I think when they had soft helmets for football, thyroid extract was used as a remedy for obesity, but there were problems. In the 1930s, dinotrophenol came in, and it was an over-the-counter obesity treatment. French factory workers previously used this to build explosives during World War I, and many lost weight upon exposure to the substance, along with side effects like fatigue, excessive sweating, increased body temperature, and of course some deaths. So there are some issues with that. From the 1940s to the 1960s, a 20-year span, there was the speed and rainbow pill. Around this time, it was gaining popularity, and it was being used for some psychiatric treatment. During World War II, the U.S. military purchased speed in the form of benzodrine sulfate tablets and supplied them to troops, believing the drug could help combat fatigue and boost morale. The addictive drug's wartime popularity helped normalize itself into recreational use after the conflict in 1945. And because it could suppress appetites, it became a common obesity treatment. Also becoming more and more popular were the latest form of rainbow pills, a colorful combination of speed and sedatives and diuretics and thyroid hormones taken in conjunction with even more pills to mask side effects and lose weight. As the actual population gets larger, which is and has been continuing since World War II, but the beauty standards remain to be thin, it becomes harder and harder to find a standard, says a French researcher. In 1968, two events spurred the FDA to remove rainbow pills from the market. An investigative reporter posed as a patient at 10 obesity clinics and was given more than 1,500 pills, and a U.S. Senate investigation that found dozens of instances linking rainbow pills to death. This should all start to kind of sound very familiar with other things as well. Amid the new war on drugs, President Richard M. Nixon signed into law the Controlled Substance Act in 1970, declaring the speed for weight loss, I'm talking about speed, the pharmaceutical, was a Schedule II controlled substance, making it more difficult for doctors to prescribe. In the 1990s, came the fen-phen craze. With the downfall of the speed for weight loss as an obesity medication came a new generation of synthetic versions of the drug used as diet aids, some requiring a prescription and others not. Among them were the combination of two pharmaceuticals that created the term fen-phen, spelled F-E-N and P-H-E-N. This drove the next weight loss drug craze in the mid-90s. So between 1988 and 1994, nearly 23% of adults were obese and over a third were overweight. Doctors wrote more than 18 million prescriptions for fen-phen. But the following year, the medical community, after the fact, discovered that fen-phen, after the fact, caused heart valve damage and was removed from the market. In 1999, mounting lawsuits, the makers of fen-phen agreed to pay thousands of consumers a total of $3.75 billion. Now we enter the 2014 to the present age, the GLP-1 drugs. Starting in 2005, these drugs were prescribed to treat people with type 2 diabetes. And so some of the names that you're familiar with to treat essentially obesity, because yes, diabetes is one of the clinical things they talk about, but also let's just be real, practical, and let's just talk like we talk for weight loss. Of course, you've heard of Wegovy, 2021, and the list starts to go on. Ozempic, and then Mounjaro. So the history of weight loss drugs, the history, which proves itself, is littered with failures of hearts, with long and short-term side effects detrimental to organs. I remember it wasn't too long ago that patients were taking these stimulants and dropping weight and blood sugar, but also dropping dead or other serious heart problems. I remember the last era, right before this 2014 era. Now, the irony in all this, the weight loss medications are all FDA approved and not placebo, yet if it was placebo, it would be causing so many problems. But I will tell you that 20 years ago, it was normal for doctors to prescribe these fen-phen style products, and it was socially acceptable. And don't think that laying out a logical argument would have worked. People want to lose weight. It's prescribed. Therefore, if it's prescribed and FDA approved, I should be okay. Yet frequently after the fact, I hear from patients, well, if somebody would have just told me about such bad health consequences, I would have done something about it or not taken the medication at all. Or as a patient just told me, I wish doctors would explain all of the potential negative side effects. So here I am back on the radio doing this very similar show that I did in April. And then last time, about 2 weeks ago, I did a review, and here we are again. Wegovy, Mounjaro, weight loss, the craze is on. People are melting off pounds like crazy. So, is it crazy? What about Mounjaro? It works. It does work, but what if? What if your neighbor is melting off weight by taking Mounjaro and has zero side effects? Would you want to try it? What if you saw a Mounjaro commercial and consider injecting it? What are some of the side effects that can happen? I've had 3 patients in 1 month have a very serious side effect and 1 potential death that I might be aware of that I haven't been able to confirm yet. But why don't we let Shar tell us about one of the side effects of Mounjaro? Okay. So with me in the studio is a patient I've known a long time, Shar. And Shar, thanks for coming on the show today. And I did want to ask you a few questions because I think it's relevant for the experience that you went through. But I just saw you because we had to go over something about your knee.
Yeah.
But we struck up this conversation because you just got out of the hospital. What happened? How did you have to go to the hospital, the emergency? I know it was from a medication that you had mentioned. What medication was that and what happened?
Marjo. How do you say it?
Yeah, it's difficult. One of the weight loss medications.
Yeah.
Mounjaro?
Mounjaro.
Right, okay.
And I was taking it to lower my AC1, and I took shot every Monday. I took 4 vials, and then I go to another box, and then it ups too.
Yep. How long would you say were you on the medication for? A couple of weeks?
Like maybe I started like in June.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
just recently then?
Just recently, and I still had 3 more vials to do.
Okay.
But I was getting where I was getting sick, and then I would eat something, and then a little while later, all this water, 7-Up, anything, just threw up, all the liquids.
So then you decided to go to the hospital.
And then they go, you should go, you're getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally went.
And then what did they discover at the hospital? What was the main thing that the side effect of the medication, what did it do to you?
It hit my kidneys.
Okay.
And they finally came back to a certain percentage, but not fully. So now I have to go see a kidney doctor.
And it was directly from the Manjaro medication,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I've got to keep practicing the name it myself.
Yeah,
They had these.
They told me, stay away from that drug.
Now let's just for a second here go back a few. You went to your doctor, and
Right.
your doctor. What did your doctor actually say about this medication for you? Like why they were prescribing it?
Because she wanted to get my AC1 down.
Okay.
And you don't have to. Mine was 7.3. You know, I can live with that.
Yeah. And you had mentioned too once you had to go to the ER with this. What did the ER doctor say to you about that number? As far as you know,
He says, they want older people to have a higher sugar level, because if something happens, you know, then they'll, you know, then if they're really low, then it takes them goes way down.
yeah.
Where if it's up there, they have something to play with.
Yep.
So
full kidney failure. They got you out of it. Now you've got some follow-up care that you have to do.
Right.
Unfortunately, we know now it's going to delay something that we have to get done with your knee. So
Right.
this whole thing caused a delay in something else we really got to get done.
right.
You mentioned before we started recording this interview, I said, Char, and I'm going to ask the same question again because I thought it was advice, and it's great advice coming from you as an opinion. What would your opinion be about people taking this medication?
Do not take it. Leave it off the shelf. Throw it in the garbage.
Yep. And I'll paraphrase it. You said, and stay fat. I thought that was a funny comment. So, yeah, because at this point in time, prior to taking this medication, you were doing okay.
Your kidneys are more important than being skinny and looking good.
There you go.
You can still look good at fat.
I love it. Well, Char, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you giving a few comments. And like I mentioned, folks, this is the second patient that I've seen in a month with kidney failure from this medication that obviously could have been prevented by not even taking it. Char, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Think you'll remember that one? Maybe I should do this for all medication side effects. There was more. However, if you missed the entire show and want to be more in the know, then log onto my website, drlarryradio.com, hit the subscribe button, follow the links, and listen to that show. It's been uploaded now, which you can listen to at your leisure as a podcast. And here is the final point. If you are taking Manjaro, just remember this segment yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Now, beyond that, in addition to the fen-phen, last time we learned a simple self-test for metatarsalgia. What is that? It was another Dr. Larry cool tool, and you can call my office for a freebie reminder just in case you're in need of a retip or a tip up. And so that was last week. Hi, yeah. Now today we'll forget that monologue for a moment and keep remembering those mandatory communication skills all doctors must have, which are inquisitive listening and staying positive. Again, it often means the difference between sick and well. Also, It's another month of the year, so let's keep our knees in gear. So in our tip and trick segment today, we're going to learn a simple self-test for torn meniscus in the knee. And of course, you, Rito Dorito, are calling it out right from the broadcast booth while we crank up the tunes and I hit the center stage for the demo. However, before all that, in order to have good health, you don't need a lot of wealth. So let's flex our forebrain and put some knowledge to the game, because today we're going to talk about, hit it, Pearl.
Dr. Larry brings you another segment of Did You Know?
CBD. It's become quite the topic lately. Gummies, topicals, tinctures, and more. How much do you know about CBD before or after buying it at the store? What about THC? It's become quite the topic lately. Gummies, topicals, tinctures, and more. How much do you know about THC before or after buying it at the store? There's a difference, you might say, or you have no idea either way. CBD versus THC. Let's bring in some level-headed sanity as it relates to these compounds and treatments of pain by paying close attention to our next guest. He's the owner and CEO of a PURE, proven, and tested CBD product and company, which will be the main focus of our show today. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll call this segment Ask the CEO. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Larry. Super excited about being on your show today. I think we got a lot of great information on a topic which is confusing for a number of people. And to be honest with you, there are, in this industry, this plant is amazing, but there are some bad actors out there. And I want to make sure that people who are listening to your radio show, whether you buy product from me or from someone else, I want to just help you make the right informed decision and cut through the hype that's out there and get down to the science of CBD, how it helps out, what are cannabinoids, and what is the latest research from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic on how CBD and other cannabinoids can help people out.
Joel, this is exactly why I wanted to bring you on the show. Folks, as you know, I bring guests on the show that I think can have a greater relevant public interest. And when it comes to, and you've heard me say over the time of the year, the wild, wild west as it relates to CBD and what's going on, I kind of was doing some research and discovered Joe, and he's the owner of this company, and like he's led off. We're going to get right to the mix of this, but before we're going to get to the big stuff, we got to get through some of the formalities out of the way first. Hey, Joe, give us your full name. Where did you grow up? Little educational background, previous career, which I do know one of the careers you had, which is interesting as well too. Let's launch into that first.
So, Joe Kryzak, grew up in California, and about 18 years ago, I left California at the perfect time. We are in North Carolina, and moved when my two boys were young. Fantastic, great education system here. It's beautiful. And in 2018, we moved out to North Carolina. 2018, I was working for Amazon at the time. And going through the corporate world, I was leading a large division of the Alexa team on Amazon. Managing the portfolio, selling to relevant businesses, and, you know, the good company, great opportunity, but I felt I wasn't giving back. I wasn't helping people, and I really felt with, we started a farm while I was at Amazon in California where I grew up, and I really saw some amazing benefits, how it helped out people from different backgrounds, different industries, saw it helping out people. And I thought in 2018, when CBD became legal, after the passing of the 2018 U.S. Farm Bill, that would be a great opportunity to get out of the corporate world, start something on my own, and give back to and help improve the lives and health of Americans.
Nice. Big career shift midway through, leaving the big boy world, which is owning and running your own company, which, like you said, too, with a passion, too. And that's, folks, you're going to find out, and that's typically how it goes in something like this. In Joe's case, coming out of obviously a big corporation and then starting up and running a business as well, too. You've got to have, there's a certain drive you have to have, and that's going to come through in the interview, too, as we go through what his company is and what he does. But before even that, maybe it is farming. Why don't you give us a unique personal talent, hobby, or interest before we get into the meat of it? CBD facts versus fiction. We'll get into this right after the break. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Dr. Larry Radio Show.
Dr. Larry will be back in a moment.
What's cooking near you? Head to one of these fine local establishments for your next bite or beverage. The Westwood Supper Club and Bear Cave Bar is now open. 1640 US 2 west of Crystal Falls. Bar and Lounge opens at 11 Thursday through Sunday. Dining room is open 4 to 10 Thursday through Saturday and 11 to 6 on Sunday. Call Westwood 874-9663.
Buzz and Schmooze Mid-City Bar in Caspian opens 11 a.m. 7 days a week. Sandwiches, burgers, deep fried appetizers, shrimp and fish served 7 days a week. Call 265-9277 for carryout.
The Habit Bar and Grill, Highway A in Nelma, Wisconsin, and on the ATV Trail, offering premium gas, opens 10 a.m. 7 days a week. Daily specials. Call 715-545-2646.
Kukal Eyes Bar in Channing's open at 11 a.m. with happy hour 3 to 6, 7 days a week. Weekends, $5 loaded Bloody Marys and mimosas. Always serving Summer Place Pizza. Voted #1 bar in Channing. Check out Kukal Eyes on Facebook for specials, live music, karaoke, and events.
The Alpha Michigan Brewing Company on the Circle in Alpha opens at 3 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and noon on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Call 920-358-9551. Go to alphamibeer.com or find them on Facebook for tap menu and events.
The Horseshoe Bar downtown Amasa opens at noon 7 days a week. Burgers, sandwiches, nachos, crazy bread, specialty homemade pizzas, and deep fryer snacks too. It always tastes better at the Horseshoe Bar downtown Amasa.
The Miners 9 in Iron River is hiring kitchen staff. Become a part of a growing team in a fun work environment with competitive pay and a fresh and evolving food menu. Apply online at miners9.com under the Careers tab. The Local Eats List from WIKB WFER.
Your healthcare should be about what's best for you. Yet too often, healthcare professionals focus on keeping patients within their system, including who they refer you to. I'm Dr. Jason Klein, orthopedic surgeon and physician owner at OSMS. You should be seen by who you want, and you can be. At OSMS, our focus is on providing you with the highest quality of care in a safe environment. The best part is, you usually don't need a referral for orthopedic care. Learn more at askforosms.com.
This is Jackie from Vulcan, Michigan, and you're listening to Dr. Larry Radio.
I would never recommend buying a home without having the water tested first. It's cool, it's clear, it looks clean. Oh, it tastes good. Well, what's really in it? And we just recommend that you check it out. I'm Jennifer Toivonen. I'm a co-lab director at Whitewater Associates of Amasa. Coliform bacteria, lead, arsenic, nitrates. You want to be sure that water is safe. I would recommend giving us a call. That way we can tailor the kit that we send to you for what you need. 906-822-7889. Give us a call.
An audiologist has extensive training preventing, diagnosing, and treating hearing and balance disorders. Research has shown people tend to underestimate the degree of their hearing loss. Rather than just selling hearing aids and fitting them, we try to look at the person and where he is as far as counseling and guidance on his hearing journey.
There's never been a better time to start hearing what you've been missing, and Lori LaFleur at Tri-County Communications will help you every step of the way on your journey to better hearing. Visit her office at 609 Central Avenue in Florence, Wisconsin. Give her a call at 715-528-4350 or find help online at TriCountyAudiology.com.
Break's over. Time to get cracking once again with Dr. Larry.
Welcome back. It's a CEO of a CBD company, but not just any CBD company. Sterling Professional divides the market of CBD products by its quality and processes. Coming up, the types of products. We're going to focus on pain relief. Then later on, we're going to have a discussion on CBD, the brief history of cannabis, what is it, and we're going to describe the differences between hemp, cannabis, marijuana, and THC. Listen, why don't you give us a unique personal talent, hobby, or interest before we get into the meat of it?
So I swam collegiately at San Diego State. I was an athlete, always grew up an athlete, and athletics is still an important part of my life. But particularly, I am super, super proud father. One of my sons just graduated from NC State, where he played lacrosse. And in the last week or two, my youngest son just committed to Johns Hopkins, where he's going to play lacrosse. And that's one of the leading lacrosse programs in the United States. Coming from California, I hadn't really heard about lacrosse when I was growing up, but great sport. Kids are fantastic, and give all the credit to their mom. Their mom did a really good job raising him.
That's great.
Who I'm still married to, so she's my wife. So
that's nice, man.
Give all the credit to the wife. Hint, hint.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, my wife is my best friend. We have 6 kids, and you've like said, the wives, boy, they do quite a bit of heavy lifting behind the scenes for us and for us guys. They're one of the anchors. That's great, man. And which was kind of cool. Like when we just met, when we were doing one of our pre-interviews, you had just found out the news about your son. And so awkwardly enough, we had just kind of met, and then you're like, hey, by the way, I got this great news a little bit ago, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, he's lacrosse. Now, I don't think in the UP we have a lacrosse team up here. So hockey would be the biggest thing around up here. So it's like, but I think there's a similarities between hockey and lacrosse. I don't know why my brain wants to, link those two things together.
You're 100%. They're very similar games. One's just on ice, one's on a turf field.
For sure. Well, Joe,
hitting, physical, stick work, all that stuff.
That's right. Why don't you give us the name of your business, and if you don't mind spelling it out for the folks as well too, just so we have clarity on where we're starting about this business that you have and that you started. Give us the name of the business and where it's located. I know you've got a brick and mortar location, but we're actually going to get into the fact that this is not just a brick and mortar shop or business. It's more than that. But let's give us the name of the business and where you're located.
So it's the name of the business is Sterling Professional, sterlingprofessional.com. It's spelled STIRLING, professional, PROFESSIONAL.com. And we actually don't have a brick and mortar. All we sell to is to doctors and patients. We really tie ourselves into the medical community. We want to separate ourselves from the vape shops, from the gas stations who sell products that may not be tested, may not have the right quality, but we really tie ourselves to the medical community because we see this as a medicinal product to help people in 3 key areas: reduce pain, reduce inflammation, and sleep better. And so we're in 500 chiropractic offices across the nation. But yeah, and there's great opportunity to work with you to help your listeners set up and check out our product.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that too. You said so. You got your corporate HQ, but it's actually not a place where patients go to purchase, and that's kind of the other element to Joe's business at Sterling Professional. It is for the professional side of the CBD, and the pain and inflammation is definitely the main focus of the segment today. Because obviously, clearly, that's a lot of what I see and what a lot of the public has. There's the sleep element as well, too. And feel free, folks, to check out his website, even as you're listening to Joe go through his company. And with the essence of the business, I think you kind of hit the differentiating factor there, and that's really where I wanted to have you launch into this is my term. This is not a dope shop. This is a professional organization selling, filtering through professionals like chiropractors, and then patients that can also that will benefit from the product. Types of products, and focus on the pain relief. Just kind of wrap our minds around the theater of the mind of the types of products you sell for pain and inflammation relief. Topicals, whatever it is you got there. Let's go through a little product list first, and then we're going to jump into a CBD discussion. And Joe's going to go through some history of cannabis, what it is, and some differentiating factors between CBD and THC. But let's just kind of go through just a quick hit product list for us before we get into the CBD discussion.
Yeah, so our bestseller easily is a CBD magnesium balm. So to be honest with you, Dr. Larry, it ain't that hard to make a CBD lotion. It's harder to make a CBD lotion that is medical grade, that includes not only the CBD, which is a fantastic ingredient, but also ingredients that humans have been using for millennia to help reduce pain and inflammation. Great example, again, the magnesium balm. It has 2,500 milligrams of CBD. We use magnesium we get from Dead Sea salt. So super bioavailable. Magnesium topically is wonderful to reduce joint pain, inflammation. Arnica, eucalyptus. There's cinnamon, clove, it's non-greasy, goes on super easy, absorbs extremely well. But for sore joints, arthritis, the magnesium balm is a fantastic product that helps out with to reduce the inflammation. And unlike a lidocaine or just a menthol product, our products are designed not only to mask the pain, but actually reduce the inflammation which is causing the pain. And that's what those ingredients will do. The other great product is a muscle gel. So you think of magnesium balm is great for joint pain, arthritis. Magnesium balm has a warming, cooling effect. It's not hot like an icy hot, but it has a nice warming and cooling effect. We use capsaicin. Capsaicin is the compound in chili peppers, which make them warm. Camphor, eucalyptus, witch hazel, white willow bark. White willow bark is, of course, what aspirin was originally made of. All organic ingredients. So the muscle balm is fantastic for helping out sore joints, sore muscles. It's great pre and post workout. So if you're either going to the gym or going out and having a hard day's work outside, throw some muscle gel on pre workout, and you get a great workout, and your muscles are activated, and you get a better workout than you could than just doing it post workout. So muscle gel is a fantastic product also.
Fantastic. And I want to go back up to the top of the list, because you said it and I caught it, because I know what to listen for. And folks, I know you know too, to kind of hear things, and I know how information will fall on different people's ears a different way, but I want to underscore and highlight one thing Joe brought up right at the beginning when he talked about the magnesium balm. You said it's a menthol versus the active ingredient that actually treats the inflammation component. So repackage that a different way and explain that a different way, because there's a lot of topicals out there that feel like they're doing something, but they're actually not treating the inflammation. If you could just kind of repackage that little beginning part again and say it a different way, but in a sense the same message. So if you want to check out some of the products Sterling Professional has, just log on to my website right now, DRLARRY radio.com, drlarryradio.com. Click the For CBD tab, and you'll see a link to Sterling Professional. You can check out all of his products there. We're getting into the pain side of it, the treatment of it using CBD, and we're literally just getting started. Again, this is going to be a 2-part interview. Joe's going to explain, coming back, the difference between the effects of menthol and the CBD effect on inflammation when we get back from the break. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Dr. Larry Radio Show.
We'll be right back with Dr. Larry.
Shop local. Make your money mean more when you support these local businesses.
Are you waking up feeling worse than when you went to bed? Get yourself a new mattress from West End Home Furnishings, downtown Iron River. We have many comfort levels available, and we'll help you find the perfect mattress just for you. West End Home Furnishings, come find your inspiration.
Scott Stapleton, LTS Services. Ready, local, honest, fair, and upfront estimates for your landscaping, building site prep, driveway install, and maintenance projects. Also offering tree and stump removal and fencing solutions. LTS Services in Iron River, 715-902-0036.
Stevens Real Estate has been the top real estate company in this area every year since 2009. With locations in Iron Mountain, Florence, and Iron River, buying and selling real estate has never been easier. We know this is the biggest decision you'll ever make, so let the educated, experienced pros at Stevens be your trusted advisors.
Reach thousands of local listeners for one low price. Call WIKB at 906-265-9622 to learn more.
An audiologist has extensive training preventing, diagnosing, and treating hearing and balance disorders. Research has shown people tend to underestimate the degree of their hearing loss. Rather than just selling hearing aids and fitting them, we try to look at the person and where he is as far as counseling and guidance on his hearing journey.
There's never been a better time to start hearing what you've been missing, and Lori LaFleur at Tri-County Communications will help you every step of the way on your journey to better hearing. Visit her office at 609 Central Avenue in Florence, Wisconsin. Give her a call at 715-528-4350 or find help online at TriCountyAudiology.com.
This Northwest Weather Report is brought to you by Peak Metal Roofing. Top quality solutions that are durable, stylish, and built to withstand the UP's toughest elements. Upgrade with the best. Call 906-370-0734 or visit peakmetalroofing.com. Peak Metal Roofing, where strength meets style.
Here's your Iron River and surrounding area forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 70. Winds out of the north, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 47. Tonight, clear skies. Partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers. Highs level off around 72. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on WIKB. Currently, it's 67 degrees.
This is Julia from Iron River, and you're listening to Dr. Larry Radio.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized to you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situations change? When you work with Ryan O'Grady, your Crystal Falls Edward Jones financial advisor, he focuses on what's important to you. You'll work together and use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy, backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And you can partner long-term to help your strategy stay on track. Contact Ryan today at 906-875-3833. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
We're back with Dr. Larry.
CBD. What's in your CBD? Are the milligrams exact? What is the purity of the extract? A history of cannabis, what is cannabis, and the difference between hemp, cannabis, marijuana, and THC. If you could just kind of repackage that little beginning part again and say it a different way, but in a sense the same message.
All right, yeah. So lidocaine is a great masking of nerve pain. What lidocaine does is it literally numbs the nerves a little bit. So you feel like you're getting, and you feel a little bit of heat from, or coolness from menthol. Those are masking the pain, but not necessarily reducing the inflammation, which is the root cause of the pain. As opposed to magnesium, magnesium is fantastic topically because you can do it on spot areas. It absorbs quickly into the joints, and magnesium actually helps out with reducing the inflammation, which is causing the pain, instead of just masking it. So you see fantastic results, and you see a great reduction of inflammation as opposed to just hiding it, which will come back as soon as the other ingredients wear off.
And I've got a quick question, because this actually would be a question that was from a patient who was in the topic knowing that you were going to be coming on my program. And this would involve, as far as your products goes, the milligrams. You'd mentioned the milligrams as far as the balm, the magnesium balm goes. In the pure extraction, and we're going to get into that in just a minute, but how close are you to the actual milligrams that's in your product versus, let's say, some margin of error? I mean, are your milligrams your milligrams? Because a patient asked me, she says, well, Dr. Larry, I know it's all over the map when you buy sometimes these other products on there. It's like, and she was talking about gummies in particular. She says some have the milligrams this way, but then it's different when you take it again. And so she said it just seems to be all over the place when it comes to milligrams. How tight is your margin of error as far as the milligrams of CBD within your product?
So the good news is that each one of our products, each batch is independently tested. So when I make a batch in our facility of magnesium balm, we get that tested, and all of that testing is on a COA. That COA attaches to a QR code on the product. So you can actually, using your phone, take one of our products, go scan the QR code on the back, and go to that independent third-party testing that shows you exactly how much CBD and milligrams are in that particular product. Great example of our magnesium balm and the muscle gel. They both have 2,500 milligrams of CBD in it. We don't use THC in lotions. You don't need to use THC in lotions because THC is psychoactive. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you know exactly how much is in each of the products, and it is independently tested, as opposed to some other places that you buy products. It might say 2,000, might say 1,500, but is it really? You don't know. But with Sterling products, you do know, because you can see the independent third-party testing, which shows exactly how much is in that product.
Perfect. Thank you. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit. Now, it's going to seem, folks, like I'm going in reverse as far as the structure of this goes. But I wanted Joe to kind of bring out the products first. I kind of wanted to give you like a nice little, okay, this is this is what he has. This is what the lineup is. But we're going to go into the discussion now, and this is going to kind of take up a chunk of the rest of the show about CBD. And what Joe's going to do, well educated in this field here, and again, I've fully admitted, prior to doing my own independent research, I had preconceived notions. When I heard CBD, I thought automatically CBD, THC were the same thing. Had some, erroneous beliefs as well. So what Joe's going to do is he's going to give us a brief history of cannabis and what it is. And then after that, he's going to describe the difference between hemp, cannabis, marijuana, THC, and then we're going to get back to the pain again too. So why don't you launch us into some brief history of cannabis and what actually it is?
So cannabis has a unique relationship with humans. I say that for a few reasons. Number one, it most likely was the first domesticated crop that humans started growing. So why is that? Why is it the first crop that did start growing? Because early humans found that the cannabis plant provided all of the necessary components which are needed for early human success. They would use cannabis fiber for rope. They would use it for clothing. They'd use it for tents. It would feed their animals, right? So the cannabis plant grows very fast. Right? It's called weed weed for a reason, grows fast in many, many types of soil. So most likely was the first domesticated crop that humans grew for all those reasons. Number two, when I say the term cannabis, a lot of people think that cannabis refers to marijuana, and that is not correct. So the term cannabis, within the species of cannabis, there are two different breeds, I would say. One is marijuana, one is hemp. So both hemp and marijuana are both cannabis, just like a Labrador and a Chihuahua are both canine. Through selective breeding, humans have taken the cannabis plant, and there's different species of the cannabis plant. There's sativa, and there is indica, but specifically I'm talking about hemp and marijuana. Marijuana was grown to maximize the flower on the plant. So, they call it the buds, right?
Yep.
People would interbreed a plant with large flower with a plant with large flower. Through the generations, you'd get a marijuana plant, high THC, as opposed to a hemp plant, which was grown and bred to maximize the biomass of the plant, to get the fiber, to get the bulk of the plant to help people, again, early humans in all those areas. Some important differentiators: in order for me, Sterling Professional, to be federally legal, I need to use the hemp plant. It's called industrial hemp. It needs to be, there's a few parameters which are absolutely critical. Number one, it needs to have less than 0.3% THC by weight, from seed to growth to sale. I can never have high THC product. And I oppose that to dispensaries that want to maximize the amount of THC. Right, we want to get people high. Our products are designed to minimize the amount of THC, because by keeping the THC very low, number one, of course, I'm federally legal, but number two, it allows me to maximize the amount of CBD and other cannabinoids, which are critical for proper human functioning. So what do I mean by proper human functioning? Well, according to Harvard Medical School, cannabinoids in the endocannabinoid system, which we can talk about right after this, most important system in your body to maintain homeostasis, maintain balance. So within the parameters of marijuana dispensaries, I see them, honestly, Dr. Larry, I see them as my enemy, right? I do not believe in high-dose THC products. I think they're probably better than alcohol, but by maximizing the amount of THC, you take away all the important components which are necessary for proper body functioning and success within our product.
Joe,
so that's a big philosophical difference between Sterling Professional and other cannabis companies you see out there.
Joe, and you just parachuted directly in the middle of the conversation exactly the information that I am asking you to educate the folks about. It's a complete flip. It's the maximizing the CBD benefit and absolute minimizing the THC pharmacological effect of that. So therefore, the product is designed based on the intent from the at the initial stage of where it's grown to its maturity for the benefit of pain reduction, inflammation reduction, etc., not the other way around to just get high. And that's exactly the information I wanted dropped right in the center of this conversation. Perfect. So that was part 1 of our interview with the CEO of Sterling Professional. Part 2 is coming up next week. However, in the meantime, if you want to test, try, and buy the Sterling Professional's Pure, Proven, and Tested product now, log on to my website, drlarryradio.com. Hit the For CBD tab, and you'll see a link to that website, and you can take it from there. Okay, upcoming announcements and our tip and trick of the week. After the break, this is the Dr. Larry Radio Show.
Dr. Larry will be back in a moment.
Summer is just getting started, so don't let your boat sit on the beach like a sunburned tourist. Head to Johnson Aikens in Conover or 3 Lakes Docks and Lifts for top-of-the-line flow boat docks and lifts. Whether you're docking the pontoon or lifting your fishing boat, we've got everything you need to launch your lake life in style. Flow docks, flow lifts, and flowing good times. That's Johnson Aikens in Conover, of course, and 3 Lakes Docks and Lifts in 3 Lakes.
When other small local businesses talk to me and ask me how my experiences were on WIKB and telephone time, I tell them, I say, there's no better way to go in the UP in northern Wisconsin than WIKB. This is Kenny from Thermal Chaos Pub. We've been advertising with WIKB for over a year and a half now. Working with the crew at WIKB is like basically being part of the family. Buckskin Bob, great to talk to, easy to get along with. Get along with Jim on TT. Helps a lot when you have a really close group of people to work with. Number 1 in service, number 1 in getting customers into your business. This is Kenny from Thermal Chaos Pub,
the fun bar in Dunbar.
So please do try WIKB telephone time.
This is Lois from Crystal Falls, and you're listening to Dr. Larry Radio.
Hello, baby! Sammy Hagar's Top Rock Countdown is Saturday nights on 99.1 FM.
Rockin' the up!
Actually, it's UP, Sammy, like Upper Peninsula.
Well.
Yeah, but anyway, tune in at 5 p.m. on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 hours of the Red Rocker counting down his favorite classic rock with themes like best album openers, best B-sides, best solo artists. Every week is something new.
Don't miss it.
And if you do miss it, the Sunday afternoon rerun is on at 3.
Mas Tequila!
It's like 10 a.m., dude, but all right. Classic rock and your favorite hits in the Top Rock Countdown on... Can you tell them, Sammy?
WIKB FM Iron River.
This local public service announcement is brought to you by Iron River Community Broadcasting.
If your water bill is too high, the Dickinson Iron Community Services Agency may be able to help. Residents of these 2 counties who meet income guidelines may qualify for assistance. To apply or for more info, contact Lynn at 906-774-2256, extension 229, or LGOLFIS at dixami.org or online at dixami.org.
Break's over. Time to get cracking once again with Dr. Larry.
Okay, a couple of things before we wrap up the show and get to the weekly tip and trick. I got it booked. The CEO of Foot Levelers, one of the longest running and large orthotic companies for your feet. They also now make custom pillows for your head. The interview is booked. That'll be coming up next month. Yay! Want to give a special thanks to Rito Dorito for making it by the hair of his chinny chin chin 2 minutes before we're going to broadcast live. He got in here. Good job, Reid. Also, don't forget to check out the link at WIKB.com, the Ask Dr. Larry link. You can send a question over to me and I'll respond to it. And we got a lot to be proud of out in the UP. Is water really water? The premium quality of cool artesian water is unsurpassed by any other water. We've got some of the world's best water being distributed nationwide, maybe even worldwide, right here from Iron County. Artesian, let's make sure I get the website right here. Let's say there. No, here we go. CoolArtesianWater.com. right here in Iron County, going to some of the biggest box stores around. It tastes fantastic and has the absolute perfect combination and milligrams of calcium, magnesium, silica, potassium, sodium, nitrates, chlorine, everything a water needs. Right here out of Iron County. Call Brian and the crew, see how you can get it to your house. They even send it by pallets if you want. Also, don't forget to check out my website, drlarryradio.com. Hope you're writing all these down and remembering them. You'll see a couple of tabs there for patients if you want to get a hold of me. And some people have even been scheduling some appointments, emailing the office. Of course, you heard throughout the show the 4CBD tab if you want to check out Sterling Professional's line of products. They're pure, proven, and tested products. You've got those on there as well, too. And again, part 2 of the interview is coming up next week. And we're going to keep diving deeper into this subject. And Joe, pretty knowledgeable guy on the atmosphere of CBD, THC, marijuana, etc. Rito, it's time for the weekly tip and trick. You head up to the broadcast booth. I'm heading out center stage for the demo. Today we're going to learn a simple self-test for torn meniscus in the knee.
All right, folks, torn meniscus. Dr. Larry is currently sitting in his chair. He's just kicking his leg out. Kind of like he's kicking a soccer ball, but sitting down.
Bingo, man. Good job, Reed. Color commentary is worthwhile. So, quick, simple way. Yes, your knees will make noise. They'll click. They'll pop. But if you got a snap and a click inside the knee, a little deeper than that just kind of surface click, could have a torn meniscus. There's a bunch of these little tests. I love to do them in the office. Some of them, if you just stand up even and do some little partial squats, if you got some really good clicks deep in that knee, could have a torn meniscus. What are some signs and symptoms? Pain, of course. Swelling, of course. Joint locking or catching. Clicking or popping sensation felt inside the knee with movement. Difficulty fully extending the flex knee. That's why I just gave you the soccer ball Rockettes kick test there for you. And by the way, I'm not making these up. These are actually legitimate tests we had to learn. All doctors had to learn. MD, DO, DC, you name it. PT, we had to learn them. If there's a feeling of instability or giving away or weakness, could be a sign of a torn meniscus. And again, it varies in intensity. It varies in if you need surgery or not. Some of them you can heal up. Some of them need to be scoped. Some of them might be an indicator that you might need a total new knee. So that's your torn meniscus orthopedic test for your knees. We need our knees. They're important. I always say they're like a door hinge. They got to open and close. In this case, they've got to flex and extend. And that is our special needs. Folks, remember you can listen to me live right here every week to learn how to achieve a better back and better health. Or if you're having a problem, I'm here to help. My number at the office is 906-875-3215. Have a good day, boy on the board, and I'll see you next week, everybody.
WIKB, Iron River, Crystal Falls, Iron Mountain, Kingsford.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The House is expected to take up a vote